Yeah, so good evening to all friends, and belated happy Ugadi and Eid Mubarak too today. And thank you for connecting despite a holiday and a long weekend, whatever it is. So today, of course, it's one of these presentations that nobody would like to miss. It is a journey through the United States by none other than Raju E.K. So Raju had done this trip. He says the presentation is about a remarkable journey by road that covered more than 3,500 kilometers in about 30 days through the cityscapes of New York to the Pacific shores along the legendary West Coast Highway 1. Then the adventure turned inland to the glittering city of Vegas and also to the canyon country, that's the Grand Canyon of the United States, with its beautiful landscape shaped by time, light, and silence. So it's not by the noise, it was shaped by silence. So that's what we're going to see in his pictures now. So the vast depth of Grand Canyon National Park, the towering sandstone cliffs of Zion National Park, the surreal rock formation of Bryce Canyon National Park, and the sculpted beauty of Antelope Canyon. So, in fact, in 2015, I had done the same circuit. And believe me, it is one of the best ideas, of all the national parks in the US. And I also did a 30-day road trip of this same circuit and a little more also. But Raju's pictures, of course, are, they are, what should I say? They are on top of the league. So these landscapes carved out of millions of years by the persistent flow of the Colorado River and the forces of nature form one of the most dramatic geological theaters on Earth. So this presentation is a glimpse of that journey, a road trip through towering cities, time, light, and wilderness, where every sunrise, every canyon bend, and every starry night told its own story. So this is about the presentation. Now for a short synopsis about Raju A.K. Raju is heading an American company called Endemic Greens Private Limited as a director, head of the operations involved in research of native plants and organic plantation to enrich the sanctity of the soil and purity of the rivers of the Western Ghats. I've been there to his plantation, and it is something to see, the kind of work that they are doing there and the kind of in-depth knowledge that he has gained about that place, and he's also documenting all that. It's simply awesome. He's giving back to nature. All this time he was capturing nature, but now he's giving back to it. And he's also heading a project of creating a biosphere in the Shola evergreen forest. Prior to this, he was appointed as the chief naturalist to establish and promote ecotourism and to create biodiversity registrars, the Briar Tea bungalows in Annamalai Tiger Reserve. Then he was also with the Little Earth group of boutique resorts in Nilgiri's biosphere and with Kurumgad Islands of the Arabian Sea. Now, Raju has had a good 3 decades as an advertising photographer from 1992 to 2021. He started photography under the guidance of his uncle, Mr. E. Hanmantarao, in the year 1979. With 46 years of serious wildlife photography and innumerable awards in national and international photo competitions, he has been a YPS member since 1980, winning awards continuously from 1981 to 89. So after that, he stopped participating himself so that others would get an opportunity those days. He's the winner of the Premier Award of the first YPS national competition in 1986. He won the Nature Photographer of the Year in 1980, awarded by the Federation of Indian Photography. He is the second Indian to win a BBC award in 1992. And he is an avid traveler with stamping of over 16 countries and loves to experiment with light, building his own lenses and gadgets. So he has
154.
photographed close to 800 species of birds, 50 species of mammals, and countless macro works. So his professional advertising photography crews with cars, watches, aerial shots, products, industries, interiors, food, jewelry, and hospitality has left an array of happy and satisfied clients, he says. So this was a short introduction of Raju, and I think he's able to share his screen now. Hopefully,
Hello, ma'am.
I'm going to start with that.
Ma'am, can you make the AK register as the co-host?
Yeah, Raju, it seems to be fine now, except that you have to move that little neat window away from the screen. Are you able to hear me, Raju? You're muted, I think. Yeah, you'll have to unmute yourself. Yeah, it seems to be fine.
Right back.
So meanwhile, I request everybody to mute their audio and also go off the video as well. Thank you.
We're not able to hear anything.
No, he's on mute. So once he starts talking, you'll be able to hear.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So he is getting instructed by one of the members to start a presentation. And somebody has asked how to, okay, how to see the PowerPoint screen. You'll have to pin it to your screen. Just pin his presentation to your screen.
Tell us something about the judging, madam.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Raju, unmute yourself and speak. Raju, please unmute yourself. You're on mute.
Speaker volume kodi,
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're fine. Yes, sir. You can go ahead.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Audible.
yes.
Yes. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sir. All good.
Bye. Thanks.
Yeah, perfect, sir. Perfect. You can start the presentation. Yeah, ma'am. Everything is set.
Yeah.
If the intro and all is done, I think sir can start with the presentation.
He can go ahead, Hardik. It is fine now. The presentation is fine. You can go
Yes,
up to
sir.
your first
Perfect. We
slide,
can see
Raju.
your profile pic, your live view also, and the presentation now, sir. You can go ahead.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, Raju.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do we start?
Yes, please.
Oh, we just start straight away?
Yes, so I'm finished introducing you.
Okay.
Not that you needed an introduction, everybody knows you, but I did the thing. So all that is done, the
Okay.
synopsis and the introduction. So you can start with the presentation.
My visa has been cleared.
Yes, stand.
Yeah. So thanks. That was a little delay because I took a wrong flight. Okay. So I think we'll start straight away. We've already lost 32 minutes. Quickly before I start, let me give a small introduction of what I'm going to show now. Okay. I was in States in 1992. And from that 1992 to 33 years later, I noticed three small changes. First, in New York, there was no World Trade Center. It was gone. Very sad. That used to be the pride. That used to be the ego of the Americans to show what they are capable of. And that was gone. That had come down, crushing down. Very sad. It was very difficult to see New York without that, without the trade, the World Trade Center. The second one is we Indians, from what my previous visit, 1992 to now, the Indians, the position of Indians in the global economy has changed significantly, so much that today we are a respected lot. Today, world looks up to us and says, "Oh, Indian." They don't say, "Oh, brown," because last time I did notice discrimination. I did notice cameras following me when I used to enter mall. All that is gone. Let's not go back to that era. All that is gone, and we have earned our respect, and we have to keep it that way. Number three is the cost of living. What used to be $3 for a deal meal in McDonald's was now $12. In those days, $3. It used to be 32 rupees a dollar. So it's 100 rupees for a deal meal in a McDonald outlet. But now it's about $12. And the dollar is about 100 rupees. So it's about 1,200, which means for us Indians, it's gone up 12 times. So it's a deep hole in the pocket. Those are the three things I noticed. But nonetheless, I was warned about it. So we went prepared. I'm not complaining. It has happened. What has happened has happened. I'm sure it's hitting them also. There are two things which I would like to tell. With the present administration, without taking names, the administration has demolished, I think, education department. for whatever reasons, and they had closed down forest department. So with the forest department being closed, the rangers never worked. So all our entry to the parks was free, which means it was a good saving of about $500 to $600 through the journey. Number one. Number two, more importantly, the administration announced a $500 entry fee for every Indian and Chinese from 1st of October 2025. We entered US in September 30th at around 5 o'clock. So we saved a good $2,500. We were 5 of us, myself, my wife, my daughter, my son-in-law, and my granddaughter. We saved a good $500, $2,500. So 2,500 plus 500, $3,000 we saved. Now I'm going to say, I love you, Trump. Okay. Now coming to the main show, we were there for about 30 days. The first 15 days was through the cities with the family. Of course, I took pictures. There are a lot of cityscapes which I'm going to show, but I'm going to quickly run through that. What was important was the last 15 days, where a friend from Boston flew down to Las Vegas to meet us and to take us on a drive through Utah and Arizona. So it was a hardcore photography trip, starting from pre-dawn to much into night, because we were in some of the darkest night in the US. I'm going to show the entire thing, but the cityscapes and the first initial thing I'm going to hurry through. Of course, I did concentrate, but then with family and granddaughter playing around, you can't do much. Now I move to the next slide. Yeah, so this was our trip from, can everybody see my cursor? Prema, can you see the cursor?
Your cursor isn't very visible.
Okay. From India, we landed in Germany, and from Germany we landed in New York. From New York we went to San Francisco. The blue line is where we drew, and then we took a small flight, and again a blue line. There's a blue line. That is our major photography trip. And we came back to Las Vegas, went to Chicago for some time, and then we flew back. The green line is what we flew back. Landed in Germany and then flew back. So this was our trip. Now, we landed in New York. New York, you don't have to say much. As soon as you land in Times Square, you're blown out, because huge buildings, people, color, light, neons, everything. For some time you get dazzled, but it's a great place to shoot wide angle shots of cityscapes. You don't need anything, you just need a 14-24. So that was my first shot in New York. And then, of course, I have made this shot a little dramatic. I've over saturated and given a little more contrast, just to make it a little wonky. You don't have to present a very straightforward picture. So that this was as we walked along Manhattan. This is what we encounter, cityscapes. There it is. It's entirely up to you how you use geometries, how you use lines, and how you compose. And I always say the best thing about landscape photography is it's the photography of exclusion. It's not inclusion. you already have 1,000 things when you see. Now, what is it that you're going to cut out, and what is it you're going to include in the picture? That needs more, I feel, that needs more concentration, more a sense of, you must have a sense of what you want. Otherwise you end up getting wrong things. So you compose, see what is it you want, and then compose, use the right lens, get into the right angle and shoot. That's landscape photography. So it's the best way to learn composition. Here, for example, on the right side, you see those poles all along. That gives you that runs along with the other things in the picture. Just to break, you have people there, and there's a red person. Now, at this point, I must say, I went to US in October. I think 1 or 2 months before that is when Satish had given his Touch of Red. I love that title, Touch of Red, and of course we all enjoyed it. It was sort of lingering in my mind. So whenever I saw red, I thought, let me compose and shoot. And initially it's all a little easygoing. If Satish is there in the group, Satish, you must excuse me because in Las Vegas it's going to get ugly.
Okay. Mm. Mm. Good that you remembered me that.
Yeah. So this is the unfortunate scene of what stood there as twin leaders, twin World Trade Centers, twin towers. It's very sad. It's very sad. With the crushing down of the World Trade Center, I think the egos, the pride the Americans had has also come crushing down. They suddenly realized that there are others in the world too, not just them. And yes, don't miss. How many of you can see the Trump Tower here? Let me show you a close-up. So any prominent place, he's there. He's there. This is near the New York stock this thing center. The bull generally says it's the upward trend of the share stock exchange, and this bull is always wild. Look at him; he's always wild. So because he's wild, he keeps pushing up the stock, and the stock keeps going up. That is what I thought. But then when I went there, I realized that there is a bull here, and people are there to photograph this in the front. And as I moved in the back, I realized why it was getting wild. Look at that. I mean, you start handling it in the wrong places, it is going to go mad. And then, do you see that? And then there were more. I don't even know what this man is trying to do. So obviously the bull is wrong. The bull is mad, and it keeps pushing the stock up. Even the nights are beautiful. It's full of people. It's full of life. It never sleeps. So it's up to you when you get tired. We used to go back to the room by around 1 o'clock when we were tired, and we used to drop dead. And you can just shoot people, you can shoot lights, you can shoot night views, you can shoot cityscapes. It just goes on and on. It's up to you how you choose. And the entire hotel, they come out into the pavement, and the whole pavement gets occupied, and people are sitting there and having good time. You can get lost. Don't miss the red, Satish. Okay, next day we went to Brooklyn Bridge. Again, a beautiful view from there, cityscape, the foreground, the background. I loved it. And yes, you will see this many times. Whenever I go, I notice, especially the Chinese are very, very strange at posing. They're good. They're enjoying it. There's no second thought about it. But the way they stand and pose, they are not even bothered about who's around. They just take a pose and the thing. So whenever I saw this, I used to shoot. I used to shoot this just to see, just to show how people shoot. Street photography, you can stand there and you can wait. You can choose your foreground. You can choose for the right color, for right background. Everything is possible there. This is the it's called Alcatraz. If somebody must have, I mean, if people know about it, this is a jail, and there was a movie on Alcatraz by Sean Connery. If you have not seen it, I suggest you see it. It's a nice movie. This is that jail. That movie is on this jail. And of course, we spent some time on the ship going through the water, and this is a cityscape. We were there for a long time, so we got different scapes. And as we were there we were there for a long time, the sun started going down and the sky turned beautiful. And then we reached the Statue of Liberty. I don't know if you can see, this is a close-up. The sky turned beautiful. I can't blow it up, but actually people can stand here. I don't know if you can see the cursor near the torch. People can see. People can stand. That's how high it is. I think it is, if I'm right, it is about 305 feet tall, and it was gifted in 1886 by the French to the Americans. 305 feet tall. That's a good 20 floors, 25 floors. That's the Brooklyn Bridge in the night. And these the good reflections on the building I just took as we were moving through the ship. And you'll see a little shake because the ship was continuously moving, and the light had come down, so slow shutter speed. I had to compromise the shot. The next day, we were in Central Park. Central Park is another great place for you to shoot people. He's a photographer, and he's waiting for customers. So while he waited, he himself posed in front of the camera, and he was sitting. Somehow I liked the setup. I took this shot, and then of course there were people enjoying. You can select. You'll have to be little far because people are wary about them being shot. You need to be a little careful. This was a 200 mm. Yeah, by the way, my equipment, this is a contrast shot. I purposely made it contrasty just to show a kind of, to get a feel of the shot. Yeah, more shots, all in Central Park. And don't forget this. Now you see this, see what they're posing. I think it's a pre-wedding or post-wedding shoot. I don't know, but look at the photographer and look at his helper. She is virtually telling the bride how she has to, pose. And somehow I find this funny. And yeah, in the park, each one has his own thing to do, and they're not even bothered about it. This man in red, he was dancing. I don't know what sort of dance that was. He was also a little aggressive, so I didn't go close to him. Yeah, this is, you'll see the flag. This is very uncommon in India, but in US, you'll see the flag everywhere because US has the highest patriotism. I think their patriotic ratio is 80%. So 80 out of every 100% are proud of them being Americans, which I think in India, it's about 20%. So only 20% say we are Indians. The other 80% say, we want to get away from here. That's the central station. Yeah, I must tell you that many of the shots are shot in iPhone, many of them in 850, which I carried, and the 18200, one of the lousiest lens Nikon makes. I don't know why they have to make such lenses. And a 1424. That was my equipment. This is an iPhone shot, panorama, which shows straight to right, up, and behind. That is how wide this shot is. I mean, the idea was to show as much as possible. So we finished New York. I'm so sorry you can't see the cursor. We finished New York, and now we flew all across and went to the west and landed in San Francisco. So San Francisco is a beautiful city. That's the Golden Gate in the back. And we took a drop in the taxi so that we could walk. And the gate, the bridge is in the background. As we walked, we found a lot of nice things. Yes, because it was October, it was the Halloween month. Halloween, actually it's on 31st March, but the entire month they celebrate it as Halloween, and people decorate. You see the ghosts they have in front of the house. Many people, they make it colorful also. Yeah, you see that? See the arrangement? As we walked, we saw this. And then we came to what is called as Lombard Street. You see, that's how crooked it is. It is also named as the crookedest street. You see, that's a street. You see on the top, it keeps curving all through, and you are allowed to come only at 10 kilometers per hour. This is the funniest street I've seen, and it's called Lombard, and it's called the crookedest street. That's funny, I thought. Yeah, and then next day we went to the market, the Fisherman's Wharf. That is a market where you can shoot people, color. It's amazing. People are just lost in their own thoughts, so you have to select and shoot your shots. That's the wide angle shot. And you see how you can include your subjects, include your things that lines that you want to include, and exclude the other things, just to make the picture more interesting. And boom, there were photographers photographing. I don't know why that man has to go down like that. He can just stand on his 2 feet and go down, but they do funny things. It's okay. I mean, I'm not criticizing. I'm not doing anything. I find it funny, so I took a picture. And yes, there was this. Every dog that passed by would bark. And this was another funny thing I noticed: a driverless car. This was the first time I'm seeing a driverless car by Tesla. They are used as taxis. You see that? It's standing in a signal light. There's no driver. And you suddenly, it's so funny that you're going in a car and suddenly you'll see a driverless car moving. You see that? There's no driver, and there are many taxis like this. This was the first time I'm seeing, so for me it was funny. And there's another photographer with his funny pose. This is the Golden Gate. So we reached the Golden Gate, and by that time it was already evening. We had a beautiful glimpse of the Golden Gate, beautiful light. So after this, Now, uh, now what happens is we hired a car from San Francisco, and we hired a car and we drove all along the West Coast to LA. Our first stop was Yosemite National Park. It's oh yeah, Halloween there also at the reception. This is a very nice way of telling that the grizzly bears that are in Yosemite, they have a right of way. This is the way they've made a small road and they put bears there to show that they have a right of way. And the best part was the entire Yosemite, the road was connected by bus and it was free of cost. You just had to take a bus and go to the point you wanted and get down there, photograph that. They were all very, very strategically, they had put up the bus stops. So you just get down and walk around 100 meters and you've done that place. And you come back, take the bus, again go to select your spots. It depends on what you want. I chose water, I chose other things, which was interesting to me. So I could cover the entire park in one day. Such a big park in one day. The main thing about Yosemite is that it has 3 different coniferous trees. At the lowest level, it's the Ponderosa pine. This is called the Ponderosa pine. This is called the incense cedar pine, and this is called the sugar pine. These are the 3 pines that dominate. They are totally differently structured coniferous trees. Now that's called an elephant rock, and it's one single rock, the entire thing. Very interesting. And then, of course, I was looking out for sun. I must have shot about 6,000 pictures. In 1992, when I was there, I took 8 rolls, which is about 300 shots. And then when I was in New York, I bought 4 more Kodachromes, so which is about 100 and odd shots, 105, 110 shots. So the entire trip, and I was there for 6 months, the entire trip I had to cover in 12 frames. Today, in 15 days or 1 month, I took 6,000 shots. And the biggest problem was to cut it down to 250 shots for the show. Yeah, Yosemite, we were in Yosemite. This is one falls. We saw the falls on the bus and then we went, it was one rickety falls. We sort of laughed, but then we realized that it was summer. So that's why the water gushing had come down. But there were a lot of painters, people enjoying. That's the best part. You know, people enjoy, they don't give a damn about you. They don't care. And they're nice to you, you are nice to them. That's how a tourist should be, I feel. This is a picture of the entire Yosemite, where you come to the vintage point and you shoot the entire Yosemite. That's almost 75. This is the entire Yosemite, and that picture was just on the left side. If you see on the left side, the valley, this is that valley. This is that valley, and you'll see the same figures here, shot in live. And yeah, after Yosemite, we hit the Pacific coast for the first time. This is the Pacific Ocean, the largest. It's so huge, it's so rough, it's so intense. That's a great way to look at and kill your ego, because when something such a big thing is there, what is the worth of our ego that we carry on our head? That was another Pacific. I feel the same thing about Himalayas. When I get to Himalayas, I feel so huge. What the hell are we that? What are we proud about ourselves? So that was another view. We kept driving along the Pacific Highway coast. It touches the water right, and right from San Francisco it goes down, but we did that 350 kilometers from San Francisco to Los Angeles. And this is the view that was for the entire 2-3 days that we drove. And there were private beaches. The best part, this is a pebble beach. It was a private beach, very photogenic, very clean. Very less people. You can spend your time. You can shoot as much as you want without anybody disturbing you. And that tree, yeah, that tree, it's called the lone cypress. Let me show you. This is the lone cypress tree. Of course, there wasn't much sand in that beach, and it's some 250 years old, and it's an iconic tree of that place. And yes, like I said, you can go down. You're shooting the the ocean, and there is nobody there. I love this red the foreground, and then the blue sky. And then after we drew for some more time, we came across a beach called Pismo Beach. It was another very photogenically maintained beach. We reached there in the evening, and we took a walk. It was amazing. It was amazing. Nothing to explain. Nothing to explain. You just had to stand in the right place, right time, and shoot. Yeah. So the next day morning, at Pismo Beach still. I'm not used to so much talking. I stay alone in a 25-acre land along with my wife. After 4 o'clock, there's nobody. So it's me and my wife talking to each other, fighting, arguing, nice talks, everything happens. So yeah, this next day morning, early morning, I went into the beach. I took a walk in the beach. There were these brown pelicans, many of them flying very close. And this is a 200 mm shot. Remember, I only had a 18-200 and a 14-24 along with a 850 body. And then there was the early fisherman, people who wanted to fish. It was a beautiful sight. Of course, a lot of birds, still undisturbed. People had not yet come because it was around 6:30. This is a curlew sandpiper, and yeah, that was a Pacific gull or a kelp gull. I don't know which one this is, but this was a gull, and they allow you very, very close. They're not bothered, including this curlew sandpiper, which I've tried in India. They come in India. They migrate to India as well. Very difficult to photograph. Here I could just do it with my 200 mm. And this was a very rare Heermann's gull, which had wandered off into an unwanted place, and it was there. And then, as the day went by, we got surfers. So there were people riding the wave. It was fun for me to shoot. I just had to follow them, put it in a continuous mode and shoot. Yeah, and when there was one lady, you look at her posture, it was like as if she was dancing. The other people were struggling, the other people were fretting. You see that? Whereas this lady was dancing, and she had that very dancey pose. I loved it. So I took a few shots. And then the sea rose, and the waves became more harsh. That was another opportunity for me to shoot. So I placed myself there where it hits the seashore at the hardest, and then I waited for people to come there. And as they walked past, I took pictures. See that? And that evening, it was fantastic. It was a beautiful sunset. And then we went to another beach called Big Sur. This beach attracts sharks, but unfortunately that day there were no sharks, so nothing much. But the beach itself was nothing much, except that the entrance was very, very pretty. It was very nicely arranged. So nothing much happened. When there is nothing to photograph, you enjoy a good lunch and then you move on. We don't have to feel sorry about not photographing anything. After that, after we arrived at Anaheim's, which is close to LA, that is the place for Walt Disney. Trust me, if you have not been there, it should be on your bucket list. It's not about the rides. It's about the people enjoying, and it's about the kids enjoying. It's about people involved in their own good activities. It's an amazing place. And I'm told the Walt, I think the Walt Disney, it must have started in 1955 is what I've read. From 1955, who were kids at that time, who are old people now, even they come there. So you'll see a whole lot of old people taking a ride, and they behave like kids. They are enjoying. So that cult following of Walt Disney is very, very present in such places, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place to photograph. Every kid, every photographer's dream, I would say. That's my granddaughter sitting with the Mini and posing like. There were many pictures I had to cut out because that's not what I'm going to show now. Not the family pictures. Yes, the Walt Disney had their own way of putting up Halloween. Yeah, so this is one thing I try every time there are people. One way to cut out people is to slow down the shutter. When you slow down shutter, you're giving the movement, and they are getting out. They're getting blurred out. Now it could look like a camera shake or whatever, that kind of a thing. Technically imperfect shot. So to make it look like a technically perfect yet creative shot, you have to get some stationary subject there. And the best way to get stationary subject there is to see that you are photographing somebody who's photographing. On the extreme left, you'll see the girl photographing these two people. So there is some stillness that gives you a chance to get still subjects yet move the subject. Not only can you move so much, you can move little. You see this? Now there is no distraction. If those people were sharp, that would have become a distraction. So give them the fuzzy. You try different shutter speeds, right from 1/4 to 1 second. Of course, you have to be very sturdy. You'll have to put your camera on. You can't use a tripod there. You will have to place it on some sort of a rest and then take a picture. This is one way to cut out the distraction of people. And there were the Chinese, funny yet lovable. They are in their own world. They're not bothered. And I don't think we should be bothered too, but I just take that to break my show into, to give a relief. So this is Walt Disney's. This was new. This was not there when I went in 1992. This is new. They have made a canyon. I think this is called the Ornament Valley. They have emulated the entire Ornament Valley with artificial stones. And then there is a car ride which takes you along. So don't miss the red car. This setup is beautiful. Look at that. Everything is artificial here. Nothing is real. And of course, there are rides where you can wait and take good shots, the water spurting out. So that can go on and on. And as I said, it was Halloween. So there was some special dance organized on this occasion. So as we stayed into the night was dazzling. The night was dazzling. It's amazing. You can just turn the camera wherever you want and take pictures. See that? And when we came out, we didn't see this Halloween when we entered, but when we came out, I saw this Halloween lit up. So I took a picture. So after Disney in LA, Anaheim, that is, we went around again from beach to beach, and LA hosts Hollywood. So it's a there's creativity, there's art in the air. You just have to go there and breathe, and it's there. It gets into you. So this is some sort of a ball. I don't know what it is, but it was there in one of the beaches. I composed it in such a way that it adds a little meaning. And yes, like I said, the red is getting uglier now. I saw this red, my eyes caught it, and I had to shoot. Yeah, after that we were touring LA, and this is the stadium where the 1982 Olympics was held. The inside was red, so I took a shot. But what was more interesting is this. There is a pillar dedicated to the slain Israeli athletes in 1974, in 1972, I think. Don't remember. Yeah, 1972 in Munich, in Germany. There was a terrorist attack, and then that many people were killed. That many athletes from Israel were killed. There is also a movie made on this by Steven Spielberg. It's called The Munich. If you people have not seen it, you should see it. It's a very nice movie, very well done. It's about the secret service of the Israelis and how they hunted down the terrorists. I was very moved to see the names of these people, though the Americans, the Los Angeles had nothing to do with them. That happened 12 years earlier, and it happened in Munich, in Germany, whereas these people dedicated a pillar for them. Beverly Hills, I don't even have to tell what it is, and it's if you just move around, it's color everywhere. You'll see richness, which we are not used to as Indians. We don't flaunt. That is one of the things we do. It's very inherent in our DNA. You know, you ask a person who's doing extremely well, ask him how are you? He'll say okay. He'll never say I'm doing good. Last year I made 3 million. He'll never. We don't flaunt, whereas the Americans flaunt. They love to show off with colors, with money, with richness, with magnitude. Everything is big. Different society. That's all. Yeah. So as we took a tour of the LA, this is the Chaplin studio. This is where Charlie Chaplin movies were made. Now it's changed hand many times, and now it's sort of defunct. It's more of a museum piece. Oh yeah, and I must tell you that frog there, it's that same Charlie Chaplin's pose, where he removes the hat, and the frog is called the Kermit frog, I think. But the posture is of Charlie Chaplin. And as you walk the Hollywood, you'll see many of these known names on the footpath. I mean, this is something, again, we are not used to. we don't want to put a known name like Walt Disney. If he was an Indian, we wouldn't put it on the footpath and allow people to walk on it. It's something. I mean, I didn't feel like walking on it, although people just walked, and it's on the pavement and it is meant to be walked. But somehow you see that and you move around. This is in us, but the Americans didn't care. So you have these stars. You'll see even beyond that, many stars with the known personalities. I was surprised to see David Copperfield, the author of The Tale of Two Cities. If you have not read it, that also used to be my non-detail in English in degree. David Copperfield, The Tale of Two Cities. I was very surprised. Apart from that, there was everybody's name. You name it, they were there. And this is the car of Elvis Presley, which a private collector had bought it, and he had placed it here. And he was talking to me. He said he spent $250,000 just to paint. Forget the cost of the car just to paint. And yes, when we got into a hotel for lunch, there was Halloween. Okay, so let's move now. On the extreme left, if you can't see my cursor, on the extreme left is a blue line, a short vertical blue line. That is the line which we drew now, which we hired a car and we drew down from San Francisco down to LA. Now we finished LA. Now we are going to Las Vegas. That is now you can see the line from the top, Los Angeles, sorry, from the San Francisco on the top to sorry. San Francisco on the top, it came down, we came down to LA, and then a little inside is the Anaheim. From there, we took a flight to Las Vegas. Las Vegas. You have to see the city to believe it. Last time I didn't go to Vegas, but this time my wife insisted, and we did. But by this time, oh yeah, in Los Angeles, my daughter, her husband, and the kid, granddaughter left. They flew back to Germany. From now on, it was me and my wife who took the flight to Las Vegas, and it was just two of us. And it's mind blowing. If New York is say 7, Los Angeles is 10. That's how photogenic the place is. And Las Vegas is known by two names. One, Sin City. One, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Sin City because people come there to sin. What sin? Anything. You can do anything. You can lose your money and go back. You can have fun and go back. I'll show you what sort of fun. It's just there. And the saying is that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So you can do anything in Vegas and it remains there. But what follows is your credit card bill. You should remember that. So as soon as we landed in the airport, we saw gambling kiosks right there in the airport. You could, by the time people waited for their, on the left you'll see the belt, the luggage belt. People, we are waiting and people are coming and they started sitting there and gambling. So it starts, it's like I said, it's in the air. So people, I think, come there to lose money. And then we reached the hotel and I saw this intimacy kit. I don't know what intimacy kit is. I've never seen it in any of the hotels anywhere. And under that is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And don't miss the Red Bull next to it. Okay, they didn't keep whiskey, they didn't keep tequila or anything. They kept a Red Bull for you to energize. They don't want you to drink and pass out. They want you to have fun. Okay, now because I had completed my 18 years, 1 month prior to the Los Angeles trip, I thought, let me open and see what it is. But on the other side, I found the content. There, that was the content. So I said, okay, anyway, it wasn't for me. there's a saying, no sex, please, we are Indians. Then how the hell did we increase our population is the question. Okay, so I came out and it was another geometry exhibition. You had to select your lines, you had to select your colors, and you had to shoot and you had to compose and you had to shoot. Anywhere, you just move that side, there's a picture, move this side, there's a picture. It was amazing. That. Yes, this is the sin. This is the sin that you will be carrying. There are a lot of such beautiful girls who wear these hearts and they walk up and down, and probably they help you use the intimacy kit. I don't know, but yes, where there are ladies, don't miss the Trump in the background. The golden tower, the golden building, that's the Trump Tower. Don't miss that. How can Trump be far away from this? That's another view of the Trump Tower. And of course, I waited for the red to shoot. Everything is artificial. Everything is artificial. The lake is artificial. The boatmen who pose as this, they have emulated Venice. So you can go for a ride, and it's fun. It's fun, and it's very photogenic. The sky is made up here. It's not the original sky. It's a huge mall. It's a huge gambling center or a mall or what it is. I don't know. But as you walk through, you'll see the sky. And even this sky is maintained throughout the day. So even at 12 o'clock in the night, there is sky like this. And then you wait for the boatman to come at the appropriate place for you to shoot. And the interiors of the buildings is fantastic. I mean, it's up to you again how you shoot. That is another hotel, another mall. Just amazing. And the top, not just the ground, even the top was, this somehow reminded me of the Louvre in Paris. Yeah, this is the gambling center. This is the gambling center of one of the hotels where they help you lose your money. Yeah, this as the light went down, there was again a new drama in the wherever I had walked. It looked totally different. So I had to again shoot the same thing. Many of the things, the same shots that I took in the morning, I shot in the evening. Of course, I didn't include it here because I didn't want to repeat. See that? And these are all hotels and they have huge gambling places inside. You can just shoot and shoot. And yes, Halloween can't be far. This bus, that look at the way they have decorated. They have it's not decoration. It is, I don't know. It's they have made this way for the Halloween. Not only the front, the side was equally gory. Yeah, that's the overall the street of Las Vegas. Beautiful. Yes. Again, these are the people who help you with your intimacy kits. They're just there. They're lovely ladies. I mean, one of them smiled at me, and I went red and green, and I blushed. We are not used to it. This is the red, which Satish should excuse me. So it's not red, could be hot, blah, 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 blah. Red could also be passion. And that's the same, the Venice, the Venice emulation, which we saw in the morning. It's totally different. Yeah. So we finished Los Angeles, and that's Shesh on the left, who arranged a drive for us, along with himself, of course, through the Utah, through the photography trip. He's a Bangalorean, and he was a YPS member as well, somewhere in 90s probably. And right now he is watching the show. I know that because he keeps messaging me. And yes, so the best part was that he flew from Los Angeles, from Boston, which is on the East Coast, all the way to Las Vegas, just to be with us, to take us around. And he had so immaculately organized the show that, I mean, not the show, what am I saying? Organized the drive that we cannot forget, and we can't thank him enough. And one thing we Indians, that's Las Vegas on the left, bottom left, and that was the trip we made, a hardcore photography trip, which is actually the gist of this show. Yes. Now, one of the things that we Indians are good at is making WhatsApp groups. So whenever we organize, whenever we are 3-4 of us, we make a WhatsApp group, including our family people who do not accompany, who have not accompanied, so that they will get to know where we are, what is happening, and whatever we communicate. That is the usual thing we do. And Shesh named it the Red Tour. So I asked him, what is this Red Tour? He said, you'll know. That's all he said. So let me show it to you, and so that you could also know. So we hired a car in Las Vegas, and we came down. We came down and we left Vegas. Within 20 kilometers, it really showed what Vegas is. Vegas is actually in the desert. That used to be a watering town for railways to stop when they went from Los Angeles to the Salt City on the top. You'll see the blue patch, that is somewhere around there is the Salt City. So the rail would stop at Las Vegas just for water, because there was oasis there. The entire place, what you see, is all desert. And because it had water there, they would stop there. And eventually it grew into the World Entertainment Center. In somewhere in 1935 or so, they made gambling legal. So after that, it took off. That is Vegas. But now, right now, We are out of Vegas and we are hitting the reality of that place. Desert everywhere, and the hills have started appearing. There's just sand, and most of the hills, the rocks that are there are all sandstone. So they are very brittle, very soft, very you scratch and it just withers off. That's not our car. We were in a Mitsubishi. This is just again the red worm in me. But the clouds was beautiful. Yes. So we came after a little drive. I think about 1 or 2 hours. We saw water. This is the water which made Las Vegas a city prominent. I mean, the rails would stop there because water was available there. And we came to a dam called the Hoover Dam. Hoover Dam was built by Hoover, some Hoover. He is, I don't remember the name. It was finished in 1935, and from the bottom to the top, it's about 10 stories high. That's how big the dam is. It is about 726 feet tall and about 45 feet on the top and 660 feet at the bottom. That's how big the dam is. But here we are standing on it, so I can't show you the dam. But that's the railroad. That's the road on the top. On the top, the bridge that you see is actually a bridge that has road on the top. And somewhere there, if you see carefully, there is a truck. That's how small the truck is. Let me show you. Yeah. Now, somewhere along the dot in the sky, somewhere down there is that the truck. You'll see that will give you an idea of how big that bridge is. So this is Hoover Dam, our first stop. Water. Generally, the water is okay. Water is up to the mark, and I think the water is coming down now because of overusage. But let's not get into the academics. We will stick to our photography. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very specifically telling you the Grand Canyon that we see in pictures is not or nothing more than 25% of what somebody's saying something.
No, I'm muted. Please go ahead.
Yeah, this is nothing. The photograph that we all see of Grand Canyon is nothing more than 25% of what it is. We can never justify them on the pictures. It's impossible. It's so huge that there are messages popping up. That from where I am standing to the end, it is 29 kilometers. It is 29 kilometers at the longest. At the shortest, it's about 19 kilometers. So I don't know. I'm between 19 and 29 kilometers. And that's how big it is. It's impossible for us to see in the picture and tell, isn't it? I mean, if you see carefully, you'll see that there are roads somewhere along which are minute because you are allowed to trek there. And I must tell you, at this stage, I think it's important to tell that I do not use wide-angle lenses for covering wide shots. I would rather make panoramas. And stick them together because that will give a much better perspective of what it is and a lot better details, and it doesn't push the infinity away. So about 15 years ago, I stopped using wide angles. This is also one reason why there were 6,000 shots, because when I'm shooting a panorama, and let's say I make between 6 to 24 shots, it could be just a linear panorama of 6 shots, or it could be multi-layers of either 12, 18, or 24, depending on the subject. So you'll see the frames being uneven, sometimes long, sometimes vertical, more this way. Sometimes it's not the frame, the 1 by 1.5 frame that we usually see. So if you see it like that, it's because of the panoramas. Now each panorama, if I have to make, let's say I take 3 shots, three meaning, let's say I shoot 18 shots, and 18 shots makes one picture. So if I take 3 times, just to be sure, just to make sure that things have got included properly, then there is 18. 18 into 3 is what? 54. So 54 shots is one shot. That is why the number went up. This is not a panorama. Yeah, that's Shesh again. You see, from this point where he's standing to that point, it's somewhere between 20 kilometers. That's how big it is. And Shesh kept telling me that you cannot imagine, you can't visualize in the picture. And true, after I photographed, I'm seeing that I cannot, or I cannot bring that magnitude into the picture. This is the length. This is the length. Okay, I'm just taking a half a minute break because there's something happening here. I just need to check. There's something calling desperately. Some bird is calling. I'll just take it. Sorry, I live in a jungle, and any unwarranted sounds should be attended to immediately. Who knows? It could be a break. It could be a bear. And after the show, if I open the door, I don't want a surprise there. So we just see what it is immediately and try to rectify. There was some bird calling. Generally, they shouldn't be calling now, but it was calling. Anyway, so this is, you see the magnitude of this thing, the Great Canyon. It's impossible for us to bring this into the show, into the picture. And there, funny pose again. Give me one reason why a lady will have to go into that pose to photograph. I don't know. And look at the panorama now. You see, this is a mistake that has happened. I have missed the top. As I have panned, I missed the top. So that's the reason why I repeat the shots 2 or 3 times. This must be at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 linear panorama. This is simple 6 shots panorama, which means instead of wide angle, which will probably you'll have to use a 14 mm. Instead of a 14 mm, you are using probably 50 mm. See how there's a big difference that will bring about in perspective. Okay, let me hurry. I think I need to hurry. This is again, yeah. So we saw that it is about how much? 6,000 feet. Yeah, 6,000 feet. And at many, it's not just 6,000 feet one gorge. It flattens. It goes down, then flattens, then goes down, then flattens, then goes down. So from where you are standing, you can never see the ground. It's only at some places you can see that the ground at the bottom where the Colorado River is flowing. Here you can see the white on the right side and the left side. You can barely see the river. That's how deep it is. And yes, suddenly we saw mountain goat. I said, oh, Nilgiri Thar, then this must be Canyon Thar. And we settled at one place and we shot. We were waiting for it to do something. The mother was sitting because the kid was sleeping. So after some time, they got up and they gave us very good pose. We were hiding behind a rock, and both me and Shesh, we were shooting our heart out. And then what happens? They started moving towards the road, and then this happened. There's a guy standing and shooting. They were just not shy. I mean, unnecessarily, we were sitting, hiding, whispering, all that. And then I came to know that these are called the bighorn sheep. They don't look like sheep to me, but that's what it is. So it's not the Canyon Thar, it's just the bighorn sheep. And then elk. We also came across elk. Again, not bothered. He's closed his eyes and chewing in spite of me standing there and shooting. Huge guy, at least 1.5 times the size of Sambar. What else? He's just standing there. That's his girl. Again, I would say about 1.25 times the size of a Sambar, the elk. And that evening, Shesh made sure that we have to go to one point at the sunset, and we went there and we got this shot of the Colorado River, a beautiful foreground. Foreground comes at a premium because everything is so flat and barren that foreground, getting some interesting foreground is a premium. So we got this tree, and this was the shot. And if you look at it, it must be 1, 2, 3, 4 into 3, 12 shots panorama. This must be 12 shots panorama. And yeah, that explains the red tour. The light turns red. Absolutely. I mean, red. Nothing, no plus or minus. No second thoughts about it. By word and definition, it is red. You will see more of it. This is cacti. The entire place is hostile. There's nothing that grows, only cacti, no water except for that Colorado, dusty, everything that you don't want. And next day we visited the tourist center, and this explained how the valley is formed. But let's not get into academics. And there was a module as well, a model this thing. So that night again, we went into a hotel. The entire place there is managed by the Native Americans. So if you say, if we see red feather, for all you know, it could be somebody's name, because that's how they name them. Their names are based on character, based on examples. For example, it could be sitting bull, little turtle, red cloud, bear head, running deer, he dog, pretty shield, sharp nose. These are the names that the Native Americans keep. So if it was red feather, for all you know, it was probably somebody's name. But the hotel was nicely maintained, decent. And of course, the red. Don't miss the red. So after the Grand Canyon, we drew down now. We all along, this was our site. It's just huge hills or mountains. What are they? I don't know. And you're just minute, tiny speck there. And then we came to a place called the Horseshoe Bend. This is water that comes in. This is a river flowing. It comes in from left, turns all around and goes. And it's so huge. I'm telling you, it's impossible for me to show in the picture. Somewhere down, you will, in the water, you'll see a boat. Don't miss that. Okay. And I'll tell you a close-up picture with a tele lens. Now you'll see there is a camping site. There are some boats. That is right here near the boat where you see, which with bare eyes you can't even see. That's how big it is. And yeah, we were there for the sunset at the right time, very well planned. And this is a 180-degree panorama shot, which showed a lot of people coming there just to see the sunlight, just to see the sunset behind the horseshoe. So we stood there for a long time because we went there at around 4:30 and we had to stand for about 2 hours. And yeah, so that is the sunset. I don't know what to say, but for me, anyway, everybody shoots this. Everybody shoots this sun thing coming in like that, and that was the sunset shot we were aimed at. I would have preferred an afternoon shot with this entire thing getting lit. But anyway, this was the preferred shot everybody shot. So that was it. And this is a map of Google Earth. The red dot is where we are now. The red dot is the horseshoe bend where we are seeing. That is the horseshoe bend. And the water came in, and you can drive up further into this is, I mean, this is where the water comes in from the top. And you'll see this boat is probably going to the horseshoe bend. Don't miss the background. So many boats waiting there. I mean, probably all privately owned, who would probably take a boat ride to the horseshoe and come back in their free time, or what it is, I don't know. But this is the top end of the horseshoe. The background was beautiful. It's just going to be this now for the next 15 days. That's the entire lake the Colorado River that will go up. And then as we finished the next day, we came across this board. You are entering. It's called Navajo. J becomes H. Navajo Nation. Enter at your own risk. Now, the last thing I wanted is a arrow entering me, and then me pulling it out, because it's all the native Indian territory here. They even have their flag. I mean, this is their official flag. They are given legal status. They have their own laws. They have their own courts. It's only in federal crimes that the police gets involved. Otherwise, they are allowed to sort out. They're given areas which is theirs. And then we came across this board, which sort of soothed us, or at least soothed me, as to what the warning was. Okay, now there are flash floods. That is, if it rains 20 kilometers away, this place gets flooded immediately, almost immediately. So immediately that if the siren rings and if you are inside and if you start running, you still can't make it. That's how dangerous it is. So they keep a very strong eye to this flash flood. And where does this flash flood occur? It occurs in the lower Antelope area, where you actually go down. I'll come to that. So the lower Antelope, it's all controlled by the Native Americans. That's some performance they gave us before they took us to the thing. That's the crevasse where we went in. We go deep in, and then magic happens. Look at this. It's amazing. Another place where your geometrical senses work or overwork, and they can just smoke out, because you can turn anywhere, compose, look at the lines, compose it well, zoom in, zoom out, and just shoot. And Shesh had clearly told us, just carry your 1424 2.8, and I just carried that. It's just that lens all through. Okay, so when we went down, I was in like, you sit there and wonder, what the hell is this? And then there was a guide who told us, don't shoot from here. He said, he said, come here, stand here and shoot. And then he made me shoot, and he said, look at the lion's face now. Okay, so this is the place where you see the lion's face. Now the funniest part is, the lion's face, you stand there and you shoot, and then you come back and shoot after some time, the light differs. You come back and shoot after some time, the light differs. You come back and shoot after some time, the light differs. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. As the light changes, everything inside changes. So we moved on. I mean, it took us, after that, I had to move on, because we have to keep moving. And I'm sure if I was there for some more time, light would have more dramatically changed. We don't know what it is. So this, you're choosing your lines and composing, and there is nothing much to say except, you just see, and probably if you were there right on my footstep, or if I was there right on your footstep, I would have composed it differently, or you would have composed it differently. You see this? It's amazing. Now, I mean, it's not, if you have not been there, it's very difficult for you to perceive what this is. What is this? And I'll tell you, for example, you see, that will give you an idea of what it is. It's just a crevasse we are entering where the flash flood occurs. So if it rains 20 kilometers away and the water gushes in, it comes in with such force here, because so much water comes in, it comes in with so much force, and it erodes the rocks, because the rocks are sandstone, they are soft, it erodes them and creates these patterns. And then if you ask me, where did the color come from? Remember this, remember the Great Canyon? The entire region has different colors at different layers. So we are somewhere midway down. So you'll have different colors, colorful stones, and all along. I mean, that's how you get the color on the rocks. And then, like I said, it was being managed by the Native Americans, and they have this flute. I don't know if you can hear it. Is it audible, Prema?
No, Raju, it's not.
It's not? Oh,
No.
sorry. Oh, okay. Okay, then let's move on. So that's a flute, which is actually called cocopelli, another Native American name, and there is a history to the flute. So it's a little known in that area. And then we come out of the crevasse. So if we come out of the crevasse alive, let's fold hands and be happy about it. And then we saw the cocopelli all over. This was a hotel, and we saw it on the hotel as well. And then this is the lower Antelope. Once we came out, that configuration there is the lower Antelope. Once we came out, the sky was beautiful. So I took a picture, and then as we drew towards Monument Valley, the sky stayed with us all through. And at the time where we touched the Monument Valley, the sky was still there. It was amazing. I mean, I'm just showing one. I must be having 100 pictures of different scenes like this. And then we come to the Monument Valley. Okay. Now, if you see this, and if you brush your memory, you'll remember Marlboro cigarettes. That was shot here. These are the monuments that you see on the Marlboro cigarette. So it's quite famous. It's amazing. For example, again, everything is so big. I'll tell you, these monuments are anywhere between 400 to 1,000 feet high. That is to say, it's about 70 to 80 story building, 80 story buildings high. That is to say, it is 4 times utility building. That's how big these are. But again, we can't do justice in photography. And like I said, we were dying for foregrounds. The moment we saw some foreground, we said, yes, let's use this and compose. The sky continued. And then, of course, they had that sail there about the Native Americans, and the flag always hoisted. Anywhere in US, you'll see the flag very prominently, fluttering. They're very patriotic about it. And then the evening happened, and then look at the red. It was amazing. I mean, literally red, not a family of red. And then the sky started showing its drama. And the sky cleared. We were in the darkest part of the US, darkest sky in the US. So that night we tried some night photography. Yes, we got some. I don't know. I'm not very happy about the Milky Way, but that was it. We should have got more colors. That line there is the plane. So after Monument Valley, that was in Nevada, we head towards Glen Canyon National Park. And everything is red. Notice, don't miss that. This is just afternoon light. This is just afternoon light. And if you think I have made it red, you see the stones in between, it is all white. So which means my processing is correct. The road is black, so my processing is correct. And yes, different type of setup here. You see that? It's amazing. This is again a panorama shot. And I was dying for foreground. It's totally a different feeling to be there and drive amongst these. Imagine huge rocks and you're driving your miniature there. And on the way, we come across something called newspaper rock that was made during, I think, some few hundred years ago by the natives. And then we stopped at another place called the Pueblo people. Okay. Now again, this place is so big. This is a panorama shot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 12 shots. Notice the blue arrows. Notice the blue arrows there in the center of the picture. Okay. Now this place is so huge. I'll show you that. You see houses there? See houses there? See houses there? See houses? That's how huge this is. It's amazing. It's very difficult to show the magnitude, and that's the whole fun we are missing here actually. So these are all a few, I think hundreds of years old, where the Native Americans would come and stay here. That's the Pueblo people. Those are the things, those are the houses we just saw. Anyway, so after that, we reach a place called the Arches National Park. Another beautiful place. Arches, they're arches. Naturally formed. So we enter the place. Again, no fee because of the forest department strike. Now this is an arch. You see that? It forms on the top, it forms a bridge, and underneath it caves in by natural process. See, for example, now it takes about 300 million years to form such this thing. And let me read it out. It's too scientific. Arches were formed over 300 million years through combination of underground salt movement, tectonic upliftment, intense erosion, and acidic rains that eroded the carvings, and gravity pulled it down, causing an arc. Okay, so that's how complicated it is. This is another arc here. Here you will have to see it's got mixed because of the opposite lighting. This arc from left to right is 100 meters. The bridge on the top, in other words, is 100 meters long, and it's called the landscape arc, 305 feet long. Okay, now to reach this, we had to make a trek. And as we trekked, this is a trek, and you see the arch in the background. This is the trek, and as we trekked, there were many boards that said beware of snakes, beware of rattlesnakes, beware of snakes all over. And true to the board, we actually saw a rattlesnake, a midget faded rattlesnake. This is, of course, venomous. And then we followed it. This is how beautiful it was. And for the first time, I saw flowers in the desert. We were so fed up. We're not fed up. We were so, this thing about seeing red, that I saw violet flowers and I immediately took a picture. And now I'll take you to an arch, which is the national symbol, the state symbol of Utah state. This arch, it's there on all the nameplates that Utah issues. We had to trek for about 1.5 hours, and when we reached the top, we set ourselves in such a way that we had to. We were there at the sunset, of course, thanks to Shesh. When we reached on the top, this was the first sight. This is called the Delicate Arch. And because the place was big, I was going back and forth. I was trying to get it against the sky. I was trying to get with the sunset, against the sunset, everything. And my wife, who had come up with me, this is from the sunlight behind me. You see how red it is. Okay. Now my wife, who had accompanied, she sat here in the center. You'll see her with the pink jacket. She's sitting there casually, facing the sun and the arch on the left. And I was running up and down, trying to get a picture. And she sat there and very casually took a photograph on the phone. And I loved it the best. I would say this is the best shot of amongst all my shots. She just sat there, and after I finished shooting, and we had to quickly trek back. So I went there, and she said, "Oh, even I shot some shots," and she showed it to me. This was amongst the best. So that night was celebration night, and I don't drink beer, but that night was an exception. So we went to a brewery and then we tested all the beers. I don't know what makes a good beer, but it did put me a little high. And then we had good food. They would show this, and they would tell you which part of the animal you want. We are not used to being so cruel. For us, it looks cruel, but each part of the animal is named, and you can name and tell them, I want this. Anyway, so that night we went out again because we had a beautiful day. The night was fantastic, and we made some Milky Way pictures again. It's the same Milky Way, but the foreground was different this time. So the next day, again, we started driving, and you see the terrain getting different shaped rocks. Oh my God, let me hurry. Yeah. So Sun Raffle Reef, and then we came to a point called Bryce Canyon. That's the Bryce Canyon, another amazing place. That's a close-up. And we could go down there. There was one place where we could walk down, and I started walking down. As I went almost 3/4, because I wanted to shoot from the bottom upwards. And as I went down, the clouds started gathering, and I had to rush back. I had to virtually run because I had a camera. I didn't have an umbrella. There was no, I don't know how the mud will slip down. So I had to rush up and then through to our this thing. There was massive rain that day. That was the lightning we tried to photograph. So we finished, and next day we drove to a place called Zion National Park. Of course, the clouds had taken over by that time. This is about, you see, this is $35. $35 entry fee is what we have escaped every time we entered a national park. Price, it was cloudy, but it had a totally different terrain. It had layers of rocks, and because we had moved, I think almost to the north. The 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 leaves had started to change. We started getting the fall color, and it was huge. It's so huge that it's impossible to show on the picture. And you see these rocks. Now these are all weathering due to winds, and there's some scientific this thing. That's how these long this thing are formed, the lines. So that day we came back and we stayed in a hotel, beautiful, nice, sumptuous meal. And in the background, the hotel was beautiful. But what's important was by night, the sky cleared. And when the sky cleared, it was our day. Oh, yeah, the Halloween at the hotel, don't miss. And Halloween at the ice cream shop where we saw. And the next day morning was all clear sky, beautiful sunrise. So we went for a drive again, and we made some morning twilight shots. Yeah. So we come to something called the Mesa checker. You'll see, it's like a checkered board. So there is, of course, a scientific explanation. Let's not get into that. But look at the foreground now. It's getting colorful, and this is the close-up. See how it has formed, how the terrain is changing from one national park to another, and it's called the checkered board mesa. Mesa, I think, it's the peak or some raised thing, hill or whatever. And yes, the bighorn sheep. Don't miss the bighorn sheep. And yes, the entire national park had this beautiful stones, and I saw a couple sitting there. I don't even have to explain this. Yes, this is very informative. On the left side, you'll see an arch. It's supposed to be the Ansel Adams arch, where he has photographed this, and it's supposed to be a very famous photograph of his. So a lot of people stop here to take the picture of the arch. And this is funny. You have to know this. Inside a national park, the car was parked so much outside of the lane, not ours, somebody else's, and he got a police ticket. That's how disciplined it is in other countries, many countries. And then anyway, so we went back to the hotel. This is the Zion where we had that rain when we entered. The next day when we came out, it was beautiful. So I took a panoramic picture. And when we reached the hotel, it had this beautiful tree. So we made that foreground, and we took a shot. And after that, we completed our. After that, we drew back to Las Vegas, from where We went to Chicago. Shesh went back to Boston. And from Chicago, we stayed there for some time. But I'm not including any Chicago pictures because we were so overwhelmed with the red and the rocks and the mud and so much of shooting for the past 15 days that I actually didn't shoot much in Chicago because I've done it previously. So we came back and that's about it. I didn't include the Chicago pictures purposely. I thought I'll end with this, with these stones and the red tour. So thank you for your time. Thank you for bearing with us initially. Now, there's something that I should have said in the beginning of the show. Let me thank YPS formally for arranging this show, and Prema in particular for keeping me poking and saying give a show, write an article. So I have to being my elder cousin, she has that right and authority to say do that, and I have to cater to it. So many times when I can't write on photography, I end up writing on the shapes of my chapati. What to do, but I have to write it. So thanks a lot. Anyway, I enjoy as long as it's photography, I enjoy. Thank you, and have a good day. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the presentation, Raju. Of course, it was a lovely journey through the United States, I should say. But then if anybody has some questions, you can take some questions, I think, for the next 10 or 15 minutes at least. Yeah, if anybody has a question, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and ask. Or you can even put it up in the chat box and we can do that.
I don't know where.
Hi, Raju.
Hi, who's this?
Somebody, man. One of the old buddies.
The touch of red. The author of the touch of red.
It was a wonderful show. In fact, your landscapes are amazing. Particularly after the half this thing you took to the other world. Fantastic.
Thank you for Shesh. I hope he's still there. He's there on the group. Do you remember him?
Yeah, I do remember him. Convey my regards to him. Yeah.
He popped up. Yeah.
So Raju,
Yeah, he's on the group. He can unmute and say a few words.
actually here,
Yes.
it was a wonderful thing which we couldn't imagine. America is so beautiful. It was very nice. I think my question is, you might have spent a lot of post-processing after the shoot.
Yes, post-processing more because of they were all panorama shots. One thing, when you are stitching 24 shots, let's say all 24 should match each other. So you have to process you don't know which one to process because there are 24 shots. If you take the dark shot, you might end up making all the picture white because you would have boosted up the dark shot, or the other way around. So it's a little tricky when you have so many shots coming together, and you have to think backwards. That took a lot of time. Otherwise, processing is very simple. I keep it to the minimum because there are no overexposures or underexposures. There are no flaws made.
Thank you. It was amazing, sir. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Raju, Rajsima here. It was amazing, pictures. In the Antelope Canyon, when I went, the cameras were not allowed inside. But how did you get to?
So sad. So sad.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody must have beaten them up, and then they have realized this issue.
Yeah.
No, 2015 cameras were allowed.
Okay, I
But
went in
you had to
24.
take.
Yeah.
Ah,
Just 2 years ago, it was not allowed.
oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's strange.
so sad.
In fact, they say you have to be there at 12 o'clock in the
11,
afternoon.
yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yes.
went exactly on the same, but very unfortunate. No camera. No cameras were not allowed. You were asked to keep it in the car.
Oh, so
Oh my. I don't know what I
very strange that they follow this in
Very-
US. I understand Lalbagh or
Yeah,
Somnath, but
yeah,
in
correct.
US, they're quite open about it. Very sad.
That's actually very surprising because,
Oh,
hey,
hi,
by the way,
Shesh.
this is Kesh. Yeah, so that's actually very surprising because they advertise photographing over there, and that's actually one of the main
Yeah.
reasons why many people go there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wonder if there was something unique happening when you were there.
Yeah, absolutely
They
no
do
idea.
have photography tours also, right? They have
Yeah.
special photography tours as well.
Yeah.
Hello, Raju. Good evening. Wonderful presentation. I'm Venkat here.
Thank you.
I have one, just a thought. Way back in '96, when I visited there, they had a helicopter tour around, just 5 minutes to 10 minutes. They charge $100 or something. But it's a beautiful shot, and they give you can see a wide angle thing of specifically for that, and some good shots I got then. So did you get a chance to do that? It's a beautiful thing. If you, I don't know, yeah.
No,
They had that in the Grand Canyon, right, Venkat? You was
they had-
talking about the Grand Canyon.
Yes, yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
picture
They
with the
take you to the
helicopter.
base. Yeah.
It's a speck. It's a speck in the canyon. A white helicopter.
Very nice.
Yeah,
In
sir.
fact,
There is
you
one more place.
land
I'm
on the
sure you would have.
riverbed.
Yeah. There's one more place called Waves. And that is also amazing. The only thing you have to enter with some lottery or something. You have to. I don't know if you have luck, you will get. Otherwise, you won't. But that's an amazing place.
This
You can-
chopper, right, that
Yeah.
Venkat was talking about,
Yeah.
they take you, they land at the base of the canyon, and then you take a short boat ride on the river in the canyon, and then you come back up. So that was this one in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
The West, what's that? The West Canyon, I think it was.
Amazing, sir. In fact, even your explanations were really good.
Thank you. Thank you. The visa, initial 30 minutes of visa wastage actually sort of brought a blockage.
Raju, Anita here. It was a
Yes.
wonderful
Hi,
presentation,
Anita.
stunning landscapes. I have seen a few pictures from those areas, but none to match this. It was wonderful. Thank you so much.
I don't know if Anita has to say this. She's just made my evening. That's all.
No, I have not been there at all. So, but I have seen pictures in salons and other places, but definitely not like this. These were out of the world. Very nice. Thank you for sharing.
Your Antelope Canyon images are so wonderful, man. Very mesmerizing compositions.
Yeah, yeah. It's I'll tell you, it's a mecca for photo composition. You just you can get lost.
In fact, I would have spent 1,000 images there only in one go.
But the problem is you are given a slot, and you have to even to go back to the lion's face. I had to escape that guide. When he was seeing the other way around, I would go back, run, shoot, and come back.
That's what we have to prove we are Indians. No, we can do that so many times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, one technical question. When you were in Antelope Canyon, what was the ISO? You remember anything? What you had enough light inside?
I don't know. It must be around 400 to 560.
Okay.
And must be around 130th, 160th, 115th.
Okay.
That. Because it was a wide angle, I could go down a little.
Correct. Amazing.
Also, it depends a lot on at the time when you go. Between
Correct.
if you go between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in that season, then the sun is actually right above, because the slot in which the sun comes through is very, very small. So if you go at any of the fringe times before 10 a.m. or after 2 p.m., you really don't get the sunlight at all. So it's not worth going at those times, because from a photographic standpoint, the lighting will not be good at all.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
think you took care of that, Shesh. I remember you telling me this
yeah, correct.
because you need
You
the
don't get the colors of the rock also then.
Yeah, we
You
had to
just
book
don't get
4
the
months
colors.
in advance. Just a FYI, if you're planning to go,
Yeah.
we had to book 4 months in advance to make sure that we got this time slot.
Oh,
Yeah. And I think even the charges are more for that time period.
Sorry.
No, for
Yeah,
the
the
11
charges
o'clock
are
slot, the charges are
yeah,
more.
yeah, but not by much. So I think typically it's around $60. At this time it's probably $76 or something of that sort.
There was no escape for that, is it?
No.
I don't think so. Because
They know when people want
that
to
is
come.
managed by the Indians,
Yeah.
the
we love
natives.
freebies, don't we?
Of course.
Anyway, thanks, Trump. I love him now after he gave me a 3,000 rupees.
I think you have finished
$3,000.
photography, so you can stop loving him now.
Yeah.
So, are there any messages in the chat?
Raju sir, some of the shots, I remembered that McKenna's Gold's picture. Do you remember? Some of the shots are
that was
in
shot
the same
here?
place.
Okay.
Shot at these places, I think.
Oh, then we should have seen which date. When is the date that it will turn into gold?
Yeah. But that entrance is blocked now. You can't go in.
Oh.
And the whole place is, according to the story, the whole place is collapsed.
Oh.
In that story, in the picture, but I don't know how it is there.
The Monument Valley, I must be having some hundreds of pictures of different monuments, but I didn't because I had to cut it short and reduce the time.
Monument Valley that you're talking about in Sedona. Did you go to Sedona, Raju?
No.
He was looking at Madonna.
No, Monument Valley, even the sunrise is very famous. You know,
I see.
Yeah.
Sedona is
Quite good,
again
actually.
very, very famous for those rocks, and it's absolutely red.
That area?
Even
Same
redder
area.
than any of these.
Correct.
Yeah, Sedona is.
Have you been there?
Sorry, Sedona is southeast of Arizona. Monument Valley is northeast corner of Arizona in Navajo country. So it's not part of Arizona. Yeah, well, it's part of Arizona, but it's a private valley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so if there are no more questions, I guess we can.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Very nice show. Yeah, we all enjoyed.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thanks again, Raju.
Disconnect.
Yes, I guess so.
Okay.
So let me stop.
Bye and good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night.
Good night, Raju. Good night.